Evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the Supercharged Smoothies Boot Camp, guys.
Hope you're having a good night. We're having a little bit of a... What are we having, Lanes? What's the official narrative here? I wanted to say...
No, we're having some timing issues. We were actually at the beach with the family and some friends. And we had a 5-year-old with a piece of glass in her toe and a dog that vomited in the car and just real life stuff. So
we're a little late. Apologies. Yeah. Hope you haven't been waiting too long. Thank you for coming. Who's with us tonight? Just quickly, if you would like to say something, we'd love to hear it. But please write your name at the end, because the program platform that we run here are having some issues with their connectivity with Facebook, and you're meant to have a pathway that allows you to be seen by us, but for some reason it's not working properly.
Yeah,
so we just
can't
see
your name.
Facebook user if you are streaming or if you're watching this live on Facebook. So
if you're on YouTube, we will see your name. But if you're a Facebooker, which is most people usually, if you could just type your name, that would be wonderful. So I can see we've got some people on. If you could please say hello, that would be wonderful. My name is Lainey, and this is my husband, Jordan.
Hello.
You would have hopefully met me already, because hopefully you have watched the introduction video. If you haven't, it is pinned to the top of the Facebook group. Please watch it. It does cover the formula for a supercharged smoothie. And we're not going to cover it again. We go into each component of the formula in the videos that you're going to get to watch, but it's not, summarized like it is in the introduction video. So I hope you have watched it.
Yes. Hi, Roma. Hey, Joanne.
Roma. Nice to see you again.
We're seeing people's names with Facebook next to it, so maybe they fixed it.
They fixed it. Gee, I've been talking to... Oh, no, there's one that's not working. So there's some that are working and some that are not. So hopefully if we see your name. But there's lots... Hey, Arthur. There's lots of Fiber Challenge friends in here. Hello. Welcome.
Good to see you back.
Oh, you're from the Sunny Coast. Tanya and Heath. We're on the Sunny Coast too.
We are.
So for those who don't know us, as which I said, we live here on the Sunshine Coast, and we've got 5 kids who we've just told them to just go take themselves to bed, because we just walked through the front door. And we love smoothies. It's pretty obvious already, though. We are definitely smoothie enthusiasts.
But not just smoothies, supercharged smoothies.
Oh, yes.
And that's why we're here. We're opening up a new supercharged smoothie boot camp. Because smoothies are great, but what we love to do is we love to supercharge them by filling them with a whole bunch of incredible goodness, flavor balancing, hiding some super nutritious vegetables in there, and getting a massive hit of whole food goodness in the morning. Super simply.
I'm just laughing because something you said then...
Laughing at me.
Not at you. Just something that you said then reminded me of all the fails that we had with all the vegetables and the different things, the amazingness that goes into these supercharged smoothies. Knowing that we have 5 kids, obviously kids are pretty taste sensitive. So even though our main goal is to have these smoothies very functional and to have them do a very particular job within our bodies, they had to taste good. And so we had 5 taste testers here, like 5 small people taste testers. And then we also have my parents who live in a granny flat attached to the house. And so they were also tasting the smoothies. And so we've had so many people helping with the development of these smoothies. We've had a naturopath, a nutritionist, our family. And now over the years, it's almost 3 years now, right, that we've been teaching supercharged smoothies.
Just over 3 years, actually. Yeah.
And so now there's thousands of people all around the country who are enjoying these smoothies every day. And the feedback that we get is just nothing short of exciting. It really does excite us, and it inspires us. It's just so wonderful, and we're right on board there too, because we missed our smoothies for a couple of days last week or this week.
I ran out of all rounder, so I had to have oats and granola. Not the same.
Yeah, we love a granola, but not really as a meal. We have it as a snack. Or like a treat or something, but a smoothie, there's just these smoothies, you just can't go past them. We feel the difference in our bodies, and there was nothing. We were on the road. I was driving up to the warehouse to drop Jordan to the warehouse to work, And there was nothing that I could think of that would replace it. Nothing I could think of that would make me feel the way that I do when I have a supercharged smoothie. So you've got that feeling to look forward to, and we're so excited that you are here because it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to learn a lot, but it's also going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we probably should do some housekeeping.
Yes.
For those who have ordered your samples, most of them have gone out. So you might get them a couple of days after we started. Apologies, but just, I guess you can freestyle or you can make them when you get the samples. A few hellos here. Freezing cold Melbourne. Sorry about that.
So I didn't mean to laugh at that.
Yeah, that was a little bit. I think the friends that we had dinner with have just moved up from Melbourne, actually, and so they're excited to be here. But yes, it'll be cold here soon, but obviously nowhere near as cold as what Melbourne is. So feel for you, mate.
And actually, if you're feeling like it's too cold for smoothies, we do have some ideas for you, particularly in the ebook. So you're going to get the ebook at the end of the boot camp. And inside that ebook, you'll get a whole bunch of recipes that we don't share within the boot camp, but you'll also get some ideas of how to use the concepts and the principles that we'll be talking about in a non-smoothie context, even boosted porridge. There's boosted cocoa. There's lots of ideas for
Different
you.
ways to use it, yeah.
Yeah.
But before we get into the nuts and bolts, we wanted to do two things. Firstly, we wanted to just, I guess, introduce what we do, why we do it, and also what we hope you guys get out of this 10-day challenge. And secondly, we'll run through some just the overview of
what to expect.
Yes, what to expect, how the program's going to run, and then yeah, you guys can look forward to getting into it on Monday.
Hey, Vivian.
Yeah, so I guess what we love to open with is basically letting you guys know we are Jordan and Laney from the Whole Food Collective. We started that about 7 or 8 years ago now. It's a while, but we've spent a few years on our whole food journey, and we sort of come to the pinnacle for us, having 5 kids, having lots to do in life, was trying to get all these incredible whole foods in without taking half the day to do it. And so what we end up doing is creating blends that help us to quickly chuck things into our meals that really boost the nutrition from whole food sources.
And sorry to interrupt. I do that a lot, don't I? One of the reasons that we gravitated to this set of principles, I guess, that we're going to learn together, is that we were, like, part of my job in running the Whole Food Collective was to do a deep dive on particular whole foods like linseeds or sunflower seeds or maca powder or whatever it might be. And I would learn about what function they have in the body and about what volume do we need for it to play that particular function effectively. And I was learning all this fascinating information. And I remember coming to Jordan and, Rosie, head to bed, darling.
Good night, sweetie.
We'll come and see you afterwards, okay? Sorry. And I remember coming to Jordan and saying, did you know linseeds do this? We need to be having these every day. We need to sneak these in somehow for the kids. We need to have them ourselves. And, week after week, I'd come home and say, oh, there's this other thing that would benefit us so much. And so the studies are just so fascinating. There is such robust scientific evidence out there about the power and the function of whole foods on both our bodies and our minds. Our gut health just, oh my goodness, that would just divert us off into another tangent. But suffice to say that we know that the food that we put into our body can help us thrive in both body and mind, and we've experienced that.
We have
on both sides. When we haven't included all this goodness into our life, and then also when we have included all this goodness into our life. And so it's just been such a testament to us. But then also when we start hearing all the feedback from the participants, just like you guys who are in this boot camp, people saying that it's making them feel such a turnaround within a short space of, say, even 3 days. Can you share the story of the lady who came to the warehouse recently?
Yeah, it wasn't recently now. That was a little while ago. But I'm trying to remember her name. She comes back and gets the all-rounder. But basically, she has a couple of older kids, and one of them was a little bit moody. She was a little bit stressed and anxious around exam period. And so she did the mum and the kids. Mum and the elder daughter did the challenge and got the younger daughter, who was grade 11, I think, or grade 12, onto the smoothies as well. And within a day, her mood and her clarity and her focus was her mood was stable and her clarity was sharp, and she was able to focus a whole bunch better in her exams. And, you know, it shouldn't be a secret, and it's really no secret if you look at what, as Lainey mentioned, the studies around whole foods and how the macro and micronutrient content of these super simple but powerful whole foods, the influence they have over the body. And so when you get a complete balance and you get a full component or a full spectrum of the components, then your body functions exceptionally well. And that's actually the norm that a lot of society has strayed from. And so we think it's this wow, crazy or revolutionary thing, but it's actually what we should be doing and how we should be living and how we should be consuming. And so I guess that is a good segue into what I love most about these challenges is if you step back a little bit and have a look exactly what we do, basically what we're just trying to do is we're trying to inspire people to look at food differently. And most of us have been conditioned to be consumers of food based on our flavor palette, based on taste, based on convenience. And so when flavor and convenience take over, you get things like McDonald's. And that's just terrible. But, you know, I mean, every now and again, whatever. But if the focus needs to be what we're eating is a fuel to our system. And if we can look at food in a way that is different to what we've been conditioned to, so we look at food as fuel, as opposed to just to be filled by food, then we start to realize that maybe some of the not so hyper tasty foods, you will eat them because of what they do for you. So what we've tried to do is we've tried to bring those two worlds together, the convenience and taste with the super functionality of organic whole foods, put them into a really simple and convenient way that you can get them into your body through smoothies. They're the vehicle, the mechanism of getting these awesome whole foods into your body. And as Lainey mentioned, we hide 2 to 3 servings of vegetables in our smoothies. Yeah, I'm up to 3 now, and I'm looking to push for the 4th. It's the 4th if I chuck a carrot in there or something. But, you know.
I can't say that I've ever done the carrot in a smoothie.
Oh, yeah, well, it's sweet. Carrots are quite sweet.
And our blender copes, fine.
Yeah. I've had a carrot before in my chopped kale, avocado, ginger smoothie. Yeah.
We'll talk about all the different ways we can get veggies in.
But yeah, so basically that's what we want you guys, and hopefully we can inspire a little bit of, you know, a new paradigm around food. Food is fuel. And if you can look at it in that manner, and not that just you need something to fill a hole that tastes really, really good, then I think there's a lot to gain from that. And that's what I found personally for myself, is that, you know, my smoothies, even from the beginning when I started doing smoothies, were much sweeter than they are now. Now they're a lot less sweet.
Me too, actually.
A lot less sweet and a lot more vegetable content and much more balanced and more nutritious.
And that's a process, you know, like we're going to give you some recipes that are great from the get-go, even for fussy kids and fussy adults alike. But as you go on, you can up the veg, down the sweetener. You can add in more probiotic goodness that we'll be talking about. There's lots of ways that you can, you know, really amp up the goodness. But as it stands, they're already incredible. I mean, I compare the macro and micronutrients of each of these smoothies against really common popular breakfasts, you know, even like porridge that's considered to be a really good solid breakfast, which I would never knock a solid bowl of porridge, as I always say. But these smoothies just knock it out of the park in every single way. So welcome, Amy. She's back the second time.
Yeah. She likes the all-rounder.
Now, some of you might be wondering, what's the all-rounder? What's this about? So in the boot camp, we're going to teach you 5 different smoothies. Each of those smoothies has a different function, so a different health goal. We've got immunity, gut health, brain function. We've got lots of different things that we're going to focus on. And within each of those smoothies, we've got a collection of whole food boosters that all target that specific health goal. And so you can either, you can order them at the Whole Food Collective because we've, you know, developed them in conjunction with a health team, and there's a complete and balanced meal and it's functional. We've also passed it through the taste test ringer with our kids and lots of other people just like you over the years. Or you can take the information that you're going to learn throughout this boot camp and use it to freestyle your own blends that you want to make at home yourself, perhaps. So you can take the done for you road with us, or you can use the information that we're going to teach you and, you know, create.
It's back again. Welcome, mate.
Hello.
I'm not typically a smoothie lover.
Oh, it's Amanda.
Amanda says, hoping this challenge will inspire me. I think it will, and hopefully in more ways than one. I think as I mentioned before, smoothies are an incredible mechanism or incredible vehicle to nourish your body simply and effectively, and you know, super conveniently too, to be able to take a cup of smoothie on the road, on the train, whatever. You got another idea? Lainey's got another great idea. Share with me.
Sorry. I honestly thought you were finished. I just can't think of any other breakfast that ticks as many boxes.
No,
I mean, we want to tick the convenient box. We want to tick the really fast, like lightning fast box, the super tasty box, and the really nutritious box. Like, I can't think of anything else. No. And so that's why we're so passionate.
That's why we call it the best breakfast ever.
Because
it literally is the best in all those ways.
Okay. So we want to let you know what to expect. This is funny.
Let's put that one up.
Okay.
Someone has mentioned they don't like carrot either.
No.
Or tomato. But
he does raw egg as well, which is not something that I like to do either.
Not at the moment.
Yeah. Look at this.
What's this one say? Safe to say I no longer say yes when he offers to make me a smoothie. Well, you're missing out then, whoever he is.
All right, so guys, we've got 10 days together and we are going to get a lot done, right?
Well, someone just mentioned coming into winter, immunity will be critical. Yeah, and I bet you've never tasted a smoothie like our cherry ripe immunity smoothie.
Our cherry ripe immunity smoothie is something else, and it's very, very targeted.
Yes.
And I'll pause on what I was just about to say, but we've got 10 days together. Let's just briefly talk about what to expect. So every single day, you're going to get
to stay on the chair.
Am I pushing you off the chair? Yeah. We're sitting on it. We're actually sharing a piano stool right now, and there's not exactly enough room for both of our behinds on it.
But your whole butt's getting on there.
Okay.
I've got half a butt on.
Okay, I'll move over. Now we both have half a butt on our chair. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. We've got 10 days together every single day at 5 o'clock our time in Queensland. But woohoo, daylight savings finishes tomorrow. So that just makes life so much easier working with everyone together, right?
So good.
5 a.m. for all of our times, you're going to get an email into your inbox, and it will have either a video for the day or a mini challenge of the day. Now, of course, there's 2 ways that you can participate in this boot camp. The first is to blend along with us. Now, you can do that if you've ordered your sample pack of blends, and you can just go ahead and blend with us. If you don't have your sample pack of blends, it is completely okay, and you will be able to participate a whole lot. We have the mini challenges are going to help you get your freezer ready to blend.
Prep it up.
And that is everything.
Yeah, that's the key, guys. Preparation is key.
Yeah. When you've got and it's so simple. Like, I'm telling you, these mini challenges would take you 2 minutes.
Well, for a week though, you can prep for 10 minutes and your whole week is smooth.
Oh, easy peasy, done. Yeah. And so we are going to get your freezer smoothie ready. And so make sure you've looked at that shopping list of all the fruit and veg. There's not a whole lot on there, but there's a few things on there that's just going to make your life a whole lot easier. And when you take a photo of your mini challenge, you'll go in the draw to win some great prizes each second day. So make sure you do that. But yeah, you'll either have a video or a mini challenge. The videos are 15 to 20 minutes every second day. So completely doable. What I would suggest is setting a regular time that you do that. A lot of people say that the best time for them is to watch it before their feet hit the ground in the morning. Or they might start watching it while they're brushing their teeth and they're getting ready in the bathroom. Just have a set time. Some people love to listen to it or watch it with their kids, especially because it's school holidays now, right?
Right.
I'm assuming it's school holidays down south.
I think it's an overlap. I think they started last week or they start next week. But
okay, we've just started school holidays here in Queensland. And bear in mind, this boot camp will take us right up to Easter weekend.
Mm.
So we might actually we might just have to bring a few things forward, give you the ebook and stuff a bit earlier, because there'll be people going camping without reception. So we'll figure that out.
Yeah, what we're going to give them a discount code up front too, just to see if that was helpful to people instead of
I don't really. Well, I don't mind. You figure that out while
yeah,
talking.
I'll think about it.
So every day at 5 a.m, you'll get that email. You can watch that video at any time you choose throughout that day, or if you fall behind, you've got the whole 10 days to catch up on videos. Plus, there'll be a binge watch weekend over the Easter weekend as well if you need to catch up. But you're probably going to be a bit busy on Easter weekend, I would say.
Busy watching videos.
Yeah, totally. Not eating Easter eggs.
Oh.
So what I would like you to do is decide, one, how are you going to participate? Are you blending along, or are you here for the education and to get your freezer stocked? Either way is completely fine. And we are super stoked that you're here. Jordan and I are both going to coach in the comments. So if you have questions along the way, you can chat away on the, sorry, I got distracted by the comments, sorry. You can ask questions along the way, and we're going to be there. We're dedicating time for you this 10 days. So make the most of it. We've been coaching tens of thousands of people on how to maximize their health and their nutrition through smoothies, and we love it. We love it. We live and breathe this stuff.
We love it because when you sort of understand the concepts, the principles, how easy it is, and then you start doing it, you feel incredibly different. When you start to actually completely nourish your system in a super simple and convenient way, you're surprised how you could ever have gone without a supercharged smoothie. I can never go back. So we love seeing how people just have these aha moments, the light bulbs, penny drops, those things. And it's super cool to be a part of that, because to us, health is the most important thing really of this life, is to be, to be putting the right stuff in your body so you're going to get, longevity and maximize your lifestyle, because so much, and there's plenty of tangents that are possibly that we could go down, but it's pretty obvious and it's pretty well known how much chronic disease is a result of nutrient deficiency. And so we're trying to combat that in our own lives, and we're trying to share and help others to do the same, so that we don't have to face a lot of those issues that a lot of people face. And a lot of it's ignorantly, that they're facing these issues
because they didn't know.
They didn't know that if you eat a whole bunch of processed foods for decades, your body runs at a deficiency for so long that organs start to shut down. And so, it's crucial that we get these micros in the right balance in our system for our bodies on a cellular level to function. And so, we really love to help people to do that.
Yeah.
So we hope you guys get a kick out of that.
And look, honestly, the last 6 to 7 years since Max was born, he's 8. Wow. Okay. So the last 8 years, honestly, has been pretty full on for our family. There's lots of things that have been going on for us that have been big, and so I am so confident that we would not have coped as well as we have had we not had that steady influx of nutrition, had we not been flooding the cells of our body with what we have been. And so, it's just such a great feeling to be able to share that with you guys.
This sorry Facebook user, I didn't see it, there's no name on that, but your comment is incredibly accurate. And how wonderful, when I went through a phase of, I think we ran out of the all-rounder that I made and didn't bring any home from the warehouse, but anyway, you just feel so different after you've had the standard of really nutritious food, and then you miss some of that, and it really has an impact. So
it does.
Hopefully all you guys can get these supercharged smoothies into your system, experience a massive, either a super revolutionary feeling of wholesomeness and strength, and that feeling inside of just being like complete and whole and robust, and
like a lightness as well too. Like you don't feel congested and heavy and
so fueled. So often the full feeling is almost a bloating or a heavy full, but a full feeling from a smoothie. I have a 1 liter smoothie every morning, and my stomach is full, but I don't feel heavy, as you mentioned. I don't feel like, I've got to sit down and rest. I feel fueled because all of it is 100% good, and I charge till about 1, 2 p.m. without having to stop. So yeah.
So we have some tips for you for smoothie success.
Are we going to do those now? Let's do those at the end.
Oh no, I told it because we used to do them at the end, and then people said, "Oh, I wish I knew that at the beginning before I started blending and sharing it with my kids, etc."
Okay.
So we share them at the beginning.
Okay. All right, yeah.
But before I do that, there was just some comments here. Oh, okay. Oh, hey, hey, Ella. She's lost count how many challenges she's done with us. Love it every time. That's what I like to hear. Hey, Nicolette. Okay, so Pat had a question. Where is it? Pat wanted to know if the recipe in the ebook is for 1 serve or 2. Now, the only people that have the ebook so far is an automated email that goes out when anyone orders the sample pack or a smoothie blend. And so if you don't have the ebook, that's completely okay. We'll get it to you at the end of the boot camp, whether you order anything or not. So it's 1 serve, Pat. However, that being said, that is a completely balanced meal that has been deemed so by a nutritionist and a naturopath. They are big-ish for some people. Like I down it quite easily, but I'm used to it. Some people find it is just perfect. Some people who don't eat as much may find it big. So just have whatever is, whatever feels right for you. And so you can't really go wrong with these smoothies. You can't have too many of them. You can't, just have what you feel is best. And so a lot of people actually find that if they've got too much smoothie, they don't want to waste it because it's liquid gold, right? There's a few different ways you can save it. But one of the best tips that we find most successful for people is using those ice cream molds. And so you just pour your leftovers into an ice cream mold and freeze it. And then you've got either a dessert or a snack or even just a breakfast on the run. You just grab it from the freezer and go. And so we find that's a really great way. Or just make less or save it for later. Okay. Yeah. Trade Easter eggs for a smoothie. I love that idea. In our family, sometimes we have the Easter fairy who comes and they trade. So we let the kids kind of go crazy on the Easter eggs for that one day. And then overnight, the Easter fairy comes and swaps the Easter eggs for like colouring in books or pencils or whatever. But yeah, do a smoothie for sure. Okay, so let's get into the tips, shall we?
Yeah. Let's tip.
You guys ready for tips? Okay, so I've just. Do I know them off by heart? I've just flicked over to this other screen because sometimes I waffle and I'm trying to learn better to not waffle. That won't be anything. No.
Okay.
So I'm just going to. Can you share the first tip?
Okay. So one of the biggest, I guess, experiences that I had when someone comes from pretty standard or conventional eating, lots of hyper flavored foods, processed, too much salt, fats, sugars. One of the biggest contrasts is the taste. Now, if you're going from hyper flavored foods to straight whole foods, you're going to notice that you don't have that hyper flavor. So it's a conditioned approach. Typically, what we recommend is if you have kids that are fussy, so if you have kids that are, let me preface this by saying we're all at our own individual part of the whole food journey, okay? Whether you're starting, whether you're 50 years into it, it doesn't matter. There's no anyone's further ahead, so they're better, or people are further behind, so they're not as good. That's got nothing to do with it. We all come across information as we come across it, and then we make decisions and we make changes based on different things. But I just wanted to let people know, it doesn't matter where you are, we're here to help you move steps forward. Now, if you are at the beginning and you are used to a conventional diet and you want to change it up and give your kids a choc smoothie instead of a bowl of Cocoa Pops or whatever you're having, that's probably flavor heavy and nutrition light, what we recommend is starting out maybe adding a bit more sweetener into your smoothie. So, for example, the sweeteners we recommend are things like maple syrup, date paste, which you'll learn how to make really simple. Just soak dates, then whiz up.
But often you won't even need a sweetener. But what we're talking about here is if,
as I said,
yeah,
what we're talking about is those who have come from.
I was trying to find a file, so I was half listening.
Okay. So heavy, those who are conditioned and used to the flavor heavy standard foods, conventional foods. So just add some extra sweetener, extra date paste, extra maple, whatever sweetener of choice you use. And so adding those at the beginning, if you've got fussy kids or flavor conscious, like hyper flavorsome kids, you want to maybe make it a bit sweetener heavy at the beginning and slowly go backwards and build down until you've got, just the standard amount of sweetener, or as we've discovered for ourselves, next to no sweetener. So that's the biggest thing. You don't want to, if you know that you're in a situation where your kids are used to flavor heavy foods, you don't want to switch them straight over to just a standard supercharged smoothie. Most adults can understand there's a difference and they can make that adjustment mentally. But if you've got kids that are a bit fussy, then add some extra sweetener and then wean it back a little bit at a time as you add them. So over 2 weeks, bring down your sweetener a little by little, and then they won't really recognize the difference because it's incremental.
So our taste buds literally change over time, and they become accustomed to things that once we might have detested the taste or texture of, if we get exposed time and time again to that same flavor or texture, our taste buds can actually learn to love that food. And I'm sure that you've probably had a similar experience in your life. Oh, hey, Nicolette. Zach said he can't wait to try his version of the Up and Go. Yes. Okay, so Nicolette and I have been chatting over in a different Facebook group that we'll invite you to at the end. And her son loves Up and Goes, and so does my nephew. My nephew he basically survived off
Well,
Up
he had
and Goes.
three foods that he would eat: Up and Goes, white bread without anything, and white crackers. Yeah. That's all he ate, and it was super scary.
And when he came here, we didn't have Up and Goes, and he stayed with us for a little while, and like, okay, let's try to make an Up and Go. And so we did, and he loved it. And so
and it's a nutritious version, like super good.
Yes. Yeah. So if you've got kids who may not like a thick, like I love a thick smoothie that's just like full of awesomeness, but sometimes kids just might like a milkshake that's like thinner. It's got zero texture. It's just like nice. And, some kids are sensory like that. And so, I'll give you a great option.
Yeah, we'll share that later on in the challenge.
I think I've mastered it.
So we also have a question here. I'm trying to lose weight. Will these help? Well, that's quite a big question. Will they help?
What we've found, I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Yeah, we haven't got a name attached to that. So
what we've found is that we haven't designed these as a weight loss. The goal is not to lose weight on these smoothies, but they're a complete meal. And what you can do is use them as a meal replacement. And so because many of us, through convenience or preference or whatever, sometimes we're not grabbing the most nutritious foods day to day, when we replace that with such a nutrient-dense smoothie, the byproduct is often weight loss. But it's not the goal that we've come into this with. It's not a weight loss smoothie, but you might find that as a happy side benefit.
Just a quick tangent. My opinion about the body is it's designed to be incredibly efficient. And if we give our body what it needs and not lacking in any area, we will regulate things. Weight is a symptom of there's something dysfunctioning in your system. And whether that's, there's a whole bunch of reasons why weight can be there, but it's a marker that something's not happening the way it should be happening internally. And so what we find is that when you give your body the nutrition it requires, it tends to balance things out well. And you will find if your weight gain is due to you're not getting enough of certain nutrients and you're getting too much of things that aren't meant to be in the system, then your body will sort that out. So they're not weight loss products, so to speak. They're just nutritionally balanced whole meals that make help your body to function the way it's designed to function, and then that helps you to regulate things internally.
And there is an option for those who are on a ketogenic lifestyle, and that's something that we've actually recently kind of gone into for a particular health goal of eradicating parasites for our kids. It's a short-term lifestyle for us. There's actually, I'm going to give you a bonus video on how you can actually remove the sugars and carbs from those fruits and make the most delicious ketogenic smoothies with all your favorite tropical fruits. So, you know, a lot of people go on the ketogenic diet to lose weight. And if that's something that you're, forgive me again because I don't know your name, but if that's something that you're on now, then we can show you a ketogenic supercharged smoothie as well. So there's lots of different options, but lots of different health goals and dietary preferences, etc.
Yeah. Chris here, now I know a few Chris's, I'm not too sure which Chris that is, talking about one day you might enjoy a smoothie from Jord or Nathan with
Is that Joe Boris? I can't see your name, but
no, it's Chris.
The carrot.
It's Chris.
Oh, no, I think Chris was talking about, is it a weight loss
smoothie?
smoothie?
Okay. Okay, it might be Joe. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe.
I think I remember Joe saying that Nathan puts carrots in smoothies now. So
okay. Here
hello,
we go.
Joe.
How you doing?
Okay, so we're going to get back to our tips. So
Yep.
Jordan has spoken about how if we've got fuzzy kids, that sometimes
Fuzzy? If they're a little bit fuzzy in there.
they may benefit from upping the sweetener for just a little while and then bringing it down over time.
Yes.
Now, the other thing that you can do to help with those fussy kids or fussy adults is to start small on the blend, on the booster blend. So what we do, we're going to teach you this, so don't worry too much about it right now. But what we teach you over this 10 days in the boot camp is that the base of your smoothie is simply three things: liquid, fruit, and veg. Okay, so the only thing we do on top of that is add a booster blend in. Now, that booster blend is obviously a combination of lots of different things depending on which health goal we're working on that day. But what you can do is that, you know, sometimes, you know, those blends are made up of all these beautiful whole foods. We've got lots of different seeds and lots of different superfood powders in there. And so sometimes, like Jordan was saying before, if our taste buds are not accustomed to the taste of pepitas or hemp seeds or, you know, those earthy...
Or a blend of all those things together.
Yeah, you know, those earthy tones. Sometimes, you know, a perceptive, fussy child or adult may pick that up. Now, we have crafted these recipes to disguise those flavors, what we feel is quite well. But, you know, if you do find someone that is getting a little bit fussy, just go small on the booster blend and then gradually build it up over time, just like we're reducing the sweetener over time.
And you might even feel that if you want to do that for some of the other not so sweet components like vegetable, if you want to halve the vegetable content and replace it with more fruit, you know, find a starting point that works for you based on what you know your kids to be, and then move forward from that point. And it's about, you know, sustainable change is about small and simple steps. So we want to really encourage that slow, gradual development to, you know, the full supercharged smoothie. Because as we've sort of covered off on, it's when you can have a supercharged smoothie in the morning, it's incredible for your constitution. It's massive.
Yeah. And so as I mentioned before, our palates and our taste buds absolutely change with frequent exposure to a new food. So by introducing these blends slowly, we're allowing that gradual acceptance and even enjoyment of that new food or the new foods. And yes, even for those super detective fuss pots. And so here's some tips to boost that familiarity in a non-threatening way. Because we don't, you know, we've got 5 senses, right? It's not just taste. So we can actually use the other 4 senses to our benefit when we're trying to get someone on board with these smoothies. And so we've even had mums and dads with children on the spectrum who are so fussy with the textures of their foods. You know, if you've got a seed in that smoothie, they're going to notice. And so what we've actually done is we've worked with them, you know, very slowly, starting with a sprinkling of that blend in their smoothie. And then, as we've just said, gradually building up over time. And they've worked their way up to a full serve successfully. So you've just got to gauge where your family is at and just meet them where they're at and work with that. There's no race to sort of see who can get the most boosted smoothie in the shortest amount of time. So we've got 4 senses. Smell is the first one. So if you've got kids who are just super fussy, don't even get them to taste the smoothie straight away. They're probably going to love it anyway. But if you're worried, then just get them to smell it. Get them to touch it. Get them to like even babies and toddlers just love to get in there and feel it. Even passing the ingredients to you while you make the smoothie, like, hey, can you pass me the avocado? Hey, can you pass me the pineapple? Whatever it is. Even if you're shopping with them and getting them to go hunt out for those foods, every exposure, whether it's taste or not, does count toward them accepting that food. Listening to the blender whir, all these things, seeing it. Don't underestimate the power of exposure to help with that familiarity, which will then become acceptance and enjoyment of a new food.
Yeah, we can attest to that with our kids. Some of the stuff they would barely even look at or want to hear about, they're making for themselves now.
Yeah.
And it just takes time and commitment and little strategies to introduce these new foods to these lovely little people of ours.
And actually, many of you may not have seen it, but I did a post on Facebook and Instagram recently about our youngest, Rosie. She's 5 years old. And I used to have to, she would ask for a smoothie and I'd say, yeah, sure, I'll make it for you. And I would hide the cauliflower. I'll teach you how to add cauliflower really well into the smoothies. But I used to, add it into the blender while she wasn't looking, because I knew that she would not